What's up, everybody? This is Josh here from Basement Level Magic, and we are going to go ahead and do another Battle for Zendikar draft. We have opened up a decent card here. Rolling Thunder is probably easily one of the best uncommons, probably one of the better cards in this set. We'll definitely look to probably come back to this one. Veteran War Leader is decent. It's just not really in the colors that you're wanting to do. Plus, it's a gold card. You don't want to start out that way. Rising Miasma, not great. It's kind of a Wrath. It's just nothing special. Tide Drifter is very good, as a later pick if you're into one of the blue-black, blue-red Devoid strategies. Vile Aggregate is one of the best ones that you can be in if you're in one of the red Devoid strategies. Tightening Coils is a really good removal spell. And Demon's Grasp I find it to be just a little bit too expensive. We're definitely going to go with Rolling Thunder here. Not really a huge question for us. Alright, so we've got some great red cards here. I typically want to follow up my first pick with the same color if I can help it. And yeah, I think we're easily going to go with red. The only question is... Turn Against, I feel like it's been a lot less strong than I expected it to be. Stone Fury is very good. It's not typically what I want to do with my red decks, though, at least not as a second pick. I'm kind of leaning towards the McKinley Slide Runner. I like to, if I'm going to go red, I want to be uber aggressive. And, getting those 2 drops that can attack for 3 is kind of what I like there. Otherwise... I think Stone Fury is probably the better card for sure. If we weren't looking to go red, Sludge Crawler is very, very good, and so is Ghostly Sentinel. But I don't feel good taking McKinney Slide Runner, but I'm gonna do it. Stone Fury, like I said, is probably a better card, but I'm gonna go with the earlier drop. All right, here Breaker of Armies is awesome as far as our Eldrazi in this set. Other cards that are decent is Valakut Invoker has been kind of overperforming for me this set. It's a decent sized body. It can take down a lot of guys, anybody with a 2 toughness, but then late game it's just flood insurance and it's awesome for it. Shadow Skull Recruit is okay. It's a little, once again, it's a little heavy on the mana, just like Stone Fury was for me. If I weren't looking to go red, Breaker of Armies is, I think, easily the pick for us. Dominator Drone is fine, and black-red plays fairly well together. I'm gonna, who knows? Maybe we try to do like a whole mono red thing. I haven't done one for a while. Well, this changes that. I mean, we could take Kozilek's Sentinel, but that's just not where I want to be. I think Kozilek's Channeler is probably the best option. It keeps us still where we, I don't know. We could still be red and choose whatever our second color is going to be. Gideon's Reproach is a very good removal, and it's early, which if I'm looking to do an aggressive red strategy, that goes really well with it. Yeah, I think it's definitely between Kozilek's Channeler and Gideon's Reproach. The rare in this pack was Exert Influence, which is constructed playable, but in Limited it's really hard to go that way. I'm going to go with the Gideon's Reproach. I just think that I'd like, once again, to take an early drop, and I want that removal now. There's another Kozilek's Channeler, which if I had picked up that last one, I'd be real happy to grab it now. I mean, we don't necessarily have to be white. Vestige of Emrakul is a strong card. If we were looking to do white, Grove Tender Druids is very good in a ally deck, which, green, white, and red actually plays really well into an ally strategy. Definitely some good options. I could see doing even Smite the Monstrous if we wanted to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and take another red card, though. I want to cut that off quite aggressively. All right, tightening coils is... That is a sign for us, I feel. 6-pick tightening coils, I think, is definitely something we need to watch for. Otherwise, I mean, Shatter Skull Recruit, it's not too exciting, and you end up seeing a lot of those in the drafts. I'm going to take the tightening coils and see where it leads us. Alright, so... What does Retreat to Valakut do? This is one of the retreats that I don't see played very often because it's not great. Target creature gets +2/+0, and target creature can't block. I mean, that's definitely a option for us. Tajiro Beastmaster, though, is... I mean, if we were looking to do an ally deck with green, the Beastmaster is one of the cards that you want. I mean, it's not exciting, but it's definitely decent. Reckless Cohort, just another 2-drop. This might be wrong, but I'm going to go ahead and take the Cohort. Alright, I want the Sure Strike this time. Tandem Tactics is an okay trick. We're not necessarily white, we're not necessarily blue. We don't really know what our second color is right now, but I just want to solidify our primary color. And Sure Strike in a red deck is basically like removal. You know, you're attacking a lot with the red decks in this format, and just having a +3/+0 first strike is huge. Alright, I'm going to take the Oracle of Dust. Still hold out for possibly being in the red-blue. There's an Anticipate, which... You know, if we're looking at possibly being red-blue, I think Anticipate's going to be one of the cards that we definitely play. There's another Reckless Cohort, but Reckless Cohort doesn't play well in the red-blue strategy, so I'm going to go ahead and take the Anticipate, see what comes up. I'll take the Tajiro Stalwart here. We may end up... I like this card better than any of the other cards in the pack, and who knows, we may end up splashing for green. There's McKinley Patrol, so we're still possibly in some kind of ally strategy. I'm not going to take Seek the Wilds just because I'm not going to be a primary... or I don't plan on green being one of my primary colors. There's Inspired Charge. I've been kind of disappointed by this card, so I'm pretty sure we're not going to play it. That's why I have it even further over than the rest of my white cards. So I think it's safe to say that we are not the only red drafters. Boo! My god, this is a good pack. Alright, for us, this pack is strong. If we want to go green, we've got Snapping Gnarly to do Beastmaster. If we want to stay red, we've got Outnumber and Firemantle Mage. But easily the best card in this pack is Hero of Gomafada. If you have watched a few of my drafts, I've actually ended up drafting Hero of Gomafada. I cannot not take that card. That card is just so strong. Otherwise, there's also Complete Disregard. But if... Yeah, I think you know, Hero of Gomafada is... To me, it's just a bomb card in this format. These other cards are very nice cards, but they're not that bomb rare that can just take over a game. So let's bring these back over. Ooh, come on now. Alright, so Zulaport Cutthroat is probably one of the better cards in the pack. Bane of Balaget is very good as well. If we want to go some kind of strong red-white strategy, we could look at Core Cascade. That's just a bit early, though, for me. Crumble of Dust is not... There's not enough targets in this format to play something like that in my mind. And it just comes down too late. You know, maybe if it came down turn 3, I'd be okay with it. Bane of Balaget is easily the strongest card, and that's why I think I'm going to go ahead and take it. You know, we could be looking at the Castigator or another Sure Strike, but those are just... You know, those are more filler cards that you can pick up later. The Bane... I've found a lot of times with allied decks, you just run out of gas, and you need something a little bit bigger in this format. So I'm going to take the Bane of Balaget. Alright, there's an outnumber for us. That's what we're looking for. So still a lot of good cards for us in this pack. We don't have any ways to exile. Rune Processor is just one of the better cards in the format, though. I mean, it comes down earlier. It comes out earlier than a Bane of Balagad, and it's bigger than it. So that's one of the things that I like about it. But Outnumber just goes with our colors. It's a early removal spell. Grove Tender Druids, I would love to see this come back around, and if it does, I'd really like to try to play a Grove Tender Druids and a Tajiro Stalwart. But for now, we'll definitely go ahead and do the Outnumber. Tunneling Geopede. There's another blue card. Come on now. I think I've fully decided I'm going to go in on the red-white strategy. And one of the best ways to do that is just take aggressive low curve creatures. I'd love to have a Lithomancer's Focus and another Sure Strike, but Tunneling Geopede is just, it's one of those things where, at least if you're drawing lands, you're still able to do some damage even if you've got a lot of little creatures. Otherwise, none of this is what we're looking to do. I may look to pick up at least one Scour from Existence during the draft. I'm not going to put a huge priority on it right now, though. Alright, this is not an exciting pack for us. There's another Tajiro Stalwart. I think I'm going to take that and look to see if we can pick up something like a Evolving Wilds or like a Pilgrim's Eye. I just feel like it's going to be a little bit better for us with, we're going to need a few more rally triggers. Right now we've only got the McKinley Patrol, Reckless Cohort, Hero of Gomafada, which, you should have a few more allies than this at this point. And there's the Evolving Wilds. Oh my god, never mind. Don't need an Evolving Wilds when you can pick up a second Rolling Thunder. Wow. I would love that Evolving Wilds, but, 2 Rolling Thunders, that just seems too good, doesn't it? And we are, what, 5-6 picks in on the second pack here? Alright, so we can go ahead. Unified Front is fine. Ghostly Sentinel, I think, is the strongest card. Andu Champion goes with our deck better. So I think it's definitely between Ghostly Sentinel and Andu Champion. Boiling Earth is a fine sideboard card. It's just not something that I'm looking to prioritize right now. We're not going to have to worry a ton about those, all those 1/1 Scion tokens right now because we've got a lot of the low to the ground guys. I feel like Ghostly Sentinel is just easily better than Andu Champion, so I'm going to take that. Holy cows. I feel like we are getting hooked up right now. Unfortunately, they're all in the same pack. So we could go ahead and do Andu Champion again, or take the Ghostly Sentinel number 2. I think this time I'm going to take the Andu Champion. I just want to get a few more ally triggers. If you're going to play Hero of Gomafada, you want it to be activated a couple times. So let's take that. I'd love to have this Ghostly Sentinel, but we need to kind of bring our curve down just a little bit. Alright, so Spawning Bed is a decent option. It's nothing too exciting though. I think Tajiro Beastmaster, it's time. We were talking about we'd love to try to get these Tajiro Stalwarts in, and if we are, Tajiro Beastmaster is going to be one of the easier cards to splash for. There's that Castigator. So we did get that to come back around, and that's definitely one of the better signs for us about our deck being open right now. Grove Tender Druids, I got to do it, right? Otherwise, yeah, no, I think that's just easily the pick. I need to find some kind of mana fixing though. I'm going to take the Lithomancer's Focus. I'd like to take the Scour from Existence, but I'm aiming to have the deck that's a little bit more aggressive, and Lithomancer's Focus works really well in that deck. Here, I'm not looking to do any of these, and I will just take a pretty island. And another basic land, and somebody beat us to the other one. Alright, so that pack, things looked pretty good. I doubt I'm going to play this Inspired Charge, but I'm just going to move it over for us. Alright, so we have some very good white commons here. Smothering Abomination is not what I'm looking to do. I do like the Valakut Predator, Valakut Invoker, Sheer Drop, Shadow Glider. All of them are strong. I think that Valakut Predator is probably just better. Sheer Drop is removal, but the thing is, in these red-white decks, you typically want to be pushing the other person. So you'll be the more aggressive one that's attacking a lot more. So you're not going to... Sheer Drop is actually less exciting to me than it was when I initially started drafting this format. You just, you end up waiting for them to attack, and then you, for the most part, aren't going to block because your guys are smaller than theirs. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Predator, and that'll probably come back to bite me, but I think I just have to. There's another Sheer Drop. There's Zada. Zada is an ally. If you don't know, you better recognize. A Combe Stonewaker. This card is just one that never really fit in for me. I think Halimar Tidecaller is easily the best card in this pack, and if I were in blue, I'd be super excited to see it. Clutch of Currents is good as well. There's a Kozilek's Channeler for us. Lots of good choices. I mean, I could try to live the dream and take Zada. What do we have right now? We've got one Sure Strike, one Lithomancer's Focus. Those are the only ways we have to activate. But we could also just prioritize. That could be fun, right? Who doesn't want to turn on Zada? Let's do it. Ooh, okay. We are, we're getting a lot of good cards. I think another Valakut Invoker is certainly a decent option. Courier Griffin. Courier Griffin is probably the better card. The fact that neither one is a ally, I think means that I should just go with the higher upside card, which is probably the Griffin. Flying is actually pretty important in this format. There's not as much ways to block as you would think. Otherwise, even Blighted Gorge is fine, but I don't want to take that this early. Not when we've got two cards that are very good options for us. So Valakut Invoker versus Courier Griffin. I just think I'm going to stay with the Invoker. I want to have that ability later in the game to have one of those. Chasm Guide, awesome. Ooh, my goodness. Nobody wants a Sheer Drop. It makes me feel okay that I passed it. So we've got a Sheer Drop, a Chasm Guide, a Nettle Drone. Nettle Drone we don't exactly have a lot of ways to turn on. We don't have a lot of Devoid cards. So that's not going to be as exciting of a pick. I think Chasm Guide is... Oh. Chasm Guide versus Valakut Predator. The Predator is just, for 3 mana to have a guy that can be a 4/4 is really, really big in an aggressive deck. But also, Chasm Guide being able to give all my allies haste is pretty exciting. I think it's not like it's super likely, but it's more likely that Chasm Guide comes around than Valakut Predator. Predator just goes in any deck that's playing red. Alright, we have Zada, so we need ways to make Zada work. So let's go ahead and take another Lithomancer's Focus. There's a Tightening Coils, which is a good card. Defiant Bloodlord is awful. I suppose if you can get that card down, it'd be great. The only problem is you almost never do. Shadow Skull Recruit, I'd be happy to get this as well. But now that we have Zada, I do want to have ways to make her work. So I want to have at least 3. Alright, there's an Andu Champion, a Nettle Drone, Cliffside Lookout. Myers Malice is actually a really good card if I were not in red. What do we have for... What do we have for colorless spells? We have Bane of Balagad, Vestige of Emrakul. That's it? Yeah, I don't think... This is not a Nettle Drone deck. The thing is, Andu Champion, it's just not an exciting play because most of your allies, you don't need Trample. I'm going to take the Cliffside Lookout. It's an earlier drop, and it actually, the ability can matter. I'm going to take another Lithomancer's Focus. This might be a little too many of those, but I'd rather have too many than not enough. Otherwise, cards to look for here, Arcana Assassin is okay. Oran Reef Invoker is probably one of the better cards just because late game you have some really usable ability. There's another Stalwart, but let's take the Cloud Manta, get it out of the pack so that whoever's in blue doesn't have the option. I mean, the other thing is I could take the Scour from Existence, but I think getting the Cloud Manta out of the pack is more important. Right? Cloud Manta, Scour, Stalwart. We don't need the Stalwart. I think I need the Scour. I need to have a way to get rid of a bomb if they have one. Here, we don't really need a second Cliffside Lookout. I'm just going to get the Myers Malice out of the pack. It's the card that I don't want to play against. There's a Sure Strike, Tandem Tactics, Akum Stonewaker. The tough thing I have with this card is that you're spending a lot of your mana creating these elemental tokens to the point where you're not putting more on the board. And that's why I'm not as excited about Stonewaker as I was initially. I'm just going to take the Medic. We can never beat a 06. It's actually going to be hard for us to beat a 03 as well. Alright, so right now we're sitting at 24. Not sure that we'll need the Bane. Getting that second Rolling Thunder I think was pretty important to giving us a late game option. I'm tempted to play something like a Tajuru Stalwart. Just try splashing green without fixing though is scary to me. And at that point, if we were going to do that, I feel like Grove Tender Druids is probably the better option. 3/3 can make some additional ones. I do want to have the 4 combat tricks. If you're going to try to make Zada work, you got to make it worthwhile, I figure. So I definitely want to keep all 8 of my non-creature spells. The question is whether I want to play green. So Tajuru Stalwart comes down, and in this deck it's almost certainly going to be a 3/4 most of the time. Tajuru Beastmaster is super strong. The question is, where does something like a Vestige of Emrakul fit in? You know, it's a 3/4 body that is just... It's not the easiest thing to deal with, even at 4 mana. This isn't the best deck for a Reckless Cohort either. Although let's look at our our ally triggers. We've got Hero, Zada, Andu Champion, McKinney Patrol, Cliffside Lookout, and Reckless Cohort. Oh, and Core Cascader too. So we've got a decent number, not a great number of triggers. We maybe could just go ahead and try, we could try to go 17 lands and just run it like this. And then if our opponent is playing a more slow deck, we end up bringing in something like... Yeah, I think if we're gonna go big like the Beastmaster, I think I'd rather just play Bane of Valaked. I don't want to go more combat tricks than what we've got. Andu Champion is very lackluster for us, but it is an ally. I mean, if I were going to try to go away from the ally thing a little bit more, I'd probably take out Andu Champion, take out the Cliffside Lookout, bring in the Bane, and then probably try to run something like a Beastmaster, which is ally trigger though. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try the 17 lands. Generally, I have ran 18 lands pretty much every single deck I've done in this format. We could look at possibly even bringing out Ghostly Sentinel, bring in Bane. I'd like to find a way to get that in, but I kind of want to see what my opponent's doing before I do something like that. Yeah, let's try this. I mean, we've got a decent number of creatures. We've got some really good combat tricks and non-creature spells. So we'll go ahead and add the basic lands. I'm going to even this out a little bit because we've got a lot of early white drops. We just need to make sure that we have red for sure in our opening hand. Yeah, so let's give this a try. I may kick myself for not getting these green cards in. The problem is the only Evolving Wilds that we saw in that whole draft was the one where Hero of Gomafada was in. And I feel like that card is just too strong to pass up. Alright, so I'll go ahead and hit submit, and I will see you in the first round. Thanks for watching, everybody. This is Josh here with Basement Level Magic. Update. I changed my mind. I decided that green is probably just going to be a little bit better option, so I took out the Cliffside Lookout, took out the Reckless Cohort, and the Andu Champion. Brought in both Tajuru Stalwarts and a Beastmaster. I then took out 1 mountain, 2 plains, and brought in 3 forests. Hoping that I'll be able to hit the forest and not be short on my plains, but I feel like it just gives us a lot stronger late game. It keeps our ally count high, so let's go with it. Hopefully this is a stronger version. So we'll see. Later.